Hello, everyone. I'm Allison, and welcome to my weekly meltdowns coverage of Survivor 43, episode 5, right?
Yep.
So 5.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Well, with me as always is Tyler and Beth, and tonight we have Julie Ann with us. Welcome, Julie Ann. She's a friend of the
Hi.
show and a patron. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And hello, Heather Jean in the chat, and Linda Maxwell, and Kylan. Sorry, Kylan.
Got it. Also.
Joseph.
Julian, but before we get into the geo of it all, I want to hear like your generic, or not generic, your general thoughts about like the season, Survivor's new era. Like, how are you feeling about the season so far? Ooh, she might be DC.
Hello, Stefan in the chat.
Julian, maybe if I sing, she'll come back.
Please come back, Julian, because no.
We can't handle the.
No, I can't deal with that.
Oh, no.
Wait.
Well, we wait for her to come back. Oh, she's back. She's back.
There she is.
Okay. I think I have the gist of the question about, you're asking about my general feelings about the season, right?
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. Okay. Great. I don't know what's going on with my internet tonight. So I like it better than the past two seasons that were kind of very similar. I like some of the twists a little bit better. I'm having trouble connecting to some of the players as much as I have in the past, but there's a couple that stand out to me. So overall, good. I've been enjoying my time.
Yeah.
7 years. Yeah, I'm a Hulu girl, so it's nice to be able to see everything as it's happening and kind of join the chat with everybody else.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Beth, like, what do you think? Like, it's been like a little while since like we've checked in with you. I want to hear like your thoughts on the season, because after tonight, I'm like, I feel like I'm back in like the whole like there's too many advantages, too many things to like keep track of. Like,
see,
I don't know.
I couldn't agree or disagree more with that. I think it's pretty straightforward. You've got who has idols, and you've got one person who got voted out had an advantage, so you don't have to keep track of that anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I like that, but I do have one question. You know how they all went in and they like got to pull out of the bag to see which one of the 3 shells you took? Clearly, Geo's was beefier than the others. So like, why wouldn't you like try to feel and see, this one feels a little thicker, I'm gonna take this one because it probably has more paper rolled up inside of it. I don't know. I thought it was very noticeable.
How did they know that? You know, when they put the shells in there, what if everyone pulled a "you lost it" deal? What do they do then?
No, there's only 3 in there. So they had a bag that was set for one person that would have 1 shell in it, a bag that had 2 shells in it if it was 50-50, and then the bag that has all 3. So there wasn't a chance that somebody wouldn't get the advantage. So there was only 3 shells in there.
Okay, I was just because I don't know.
No, I thought the same thing, and then I realized that's what the 3 bags are for to do that. But then I would get in there. I'd be like, guys, let me go first, and I'd be like, okay, so this one feels similar to that one. This one feels a little thicker. I'm gonna take the thicker one.
I have my hand in there around for 20 minutes.
Beth goes,
and they'd be like, Allison, just pick the freaking shell already. No, this is serious business.
Yeah, I just first of all, I'm glad that like if it's any advantage that's going to be wasted and we don't have to see it again, I'm glad it's the knowledge is power advantage. I think like that one is a little more like mixed positive and negative feelings, I think, in the Survivor fandom compared to like the other advantages and stuff. So yeah, and like of course like Chanel, she I think Julian's gonna be right back. Chanel like didn't really play it all too well in her season last season. So I don't know. I'm just I was iffy about it. So I'm kind of glad that it's just like a non-entity now for us. Oops, there you go.
I think you both clicked at the same time. Poor Julian.
So I don't know what's going on with my internet.
You're good.
I'm so sorry.
You're good. I think it feels more stable now. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I figured I would try to do the classic exit and come back. So
absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, I was kind of surprised to see Gio go, like even after like he won the advantage and everything like that. I was kind of thinking like maybe it's gonna be Ryan that goes because like they're afraid that like maybe he has like an idol or something. They don't know like the details of the advantage or anything like that. So I thought like they were gonna say like, all right, maybe Ryan is like the easier person to take out. The merge is coming. We don't want him in the merge either. That type of thing. So
I think it's going to be
wanted Ryan to go as well.
Yeah, I think it made more sense for Carla's game at the end of the day. You know where the advantage is, and you can still continue to play dumb about having, right? It's better to know where things are than to have the question marks. And if you don't know what Ryan's going to do, now clearly Ryan also really trusts you. Ryan's not going to trust you going into the merge now. Right.
Yeah.
But Gio, I feel like as much as he's like playing the game, I do think that Carla can wrap him around his finger more than she could wrap Ryan around.
Exactly. Like I think that like she had a much better working relationship with Gio. So I thought it was weird that she was willing to I feel like Carla is so like, I'm okay with losing my allies. Like the whole like Sandra, like as long as it's not me, I don't care who goes home type of mentality. And I love to see it. I just like, was it necessary to vote out Gio over Ryan is the question for me.
Don't you think that going into a merge, and you have to imagine it's happening if after the 5th or 6th person, don't you imagine that you want to take out Ryan, who's a pretty physical player, before the merge and keep Gio in?
That's what I'm saying. But like Gio, like I feel like he is like the classic, like I don't know why, but I get like Ty or like David Wright, like vibes in terms of like this guy is scrawny and nimble and he will find all of those advantages and like be just like that thorn in the side of your game like for the rest of the season. Like I don't know why, but like I feel very scared of Gio as a player in this game. So maybe they're looking at Ryan as like, oh, he's just a loyal soldier. He's just like a good old boy, right? Like he's not gonna like change up the plan or anything. Especially seeing like how bad he fumbled with Cassidy tonight. Like that was
just
so
how bad he is with lying in general. Like I loved Carla being like, oh yeah, you should keep acting the way that you're acting because it's like it's so working. And I was like,
that was cracking me up. Yeah, he was so annoying because the fact that he threw it is one thing. I hate that. Like just play the game. But also, he was like, oh, if I have to go, like, don't mess up your game. Like, it was just so irritating.
Girl,
it's so cringy.
Girl, the things, if you ever have someone go, you know what, just if you have to vote me out tonight, I understand. When you're in a position where, like, it's so not clear cut, like, never do that. That's why I would have voted out Gabler in the first. But I would have been like, nope. He basically volunteered to go. And I would have done the same thing with Ryan. Oh, Ryan, I'm sorry. You basically volunteered to go home tonight. And you keep talking about it as if you're just going to stick around.
The whole martyr thing, every time he opened his mouth, I just dig it. You hit the ground, you keep digging. Like he's digging his grave and he just keeps talking. And I'm like, it's like when you're you know the person's lying, but you just let him keep going. I live that life. If I know you're lying, I'm going to let you keep going because I am invested in the lie. I want to see how deep this abyss goes.
That's the thing. I tweeted
Ask my son about that.
I tweeted something like that earlier, like a few weeks ago, where I was like, if I ever make an awkward comment and I keep talking because I can't get myself to shut up, all I could hear is Jeff Probst go, "Dig, woman, dig!" in the back of my head.
He didn't say dig tonight. He said something else during the challenge, and God bless, I can't remember what it is.
I don't know.
I sometimes want to watch on mute during the challenges. I just can't listen to him. It's too much.
That's my favorite part
tonight. He was a little hoarse tonight, a little under the weather, I felt. So
I'm telling you guys, like Jeff is like really showing his age. Like I feel geriatric, like watching him trying to keep up with like modern Survivor. And like I'm feeling it more like this season than ever before. I don't know if it's just because like I'm 30 now or something like that.
Oh, you old fucking man.
I honestly think
every freaking week now. I have to be reminded of how damn old I am. I mean, I'm at the point in my life I can't even trust a fart anymore. Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, y'all. Hold on a minute. That was a little loose. That was a little fast and loose. You know what I mean?
So last week during the challenge, because I wasn't on the show last week, I noticed how many more times the tribes were screaming to get Jeff's attention because he was like off looking somewhere else at a different tribe. He'd be like, he was like, Coco's still behind, but Baka's over here, and blah blah blah. And they're going, Jeff, and he's like, what? Oh yeah, you guys are
still playing.
You guys can keep going. I'm like, what the fuck, Jeff? Like, if there's a team that is waiting for your approval, I'm sorry, you got to kind of keep an eye. You have to keep going like this. I'm sorry. Funny. But he did that like 3 times in the same challenge last week. So I don't know.
It's feeling weird. It's feeling like the energy is like off, and I feel like it's kind of like rubbing off on the season a little bit. Like I've seen a lot of rumbling online about like, is this season like better than 41 or 42? A lot of people are like, I don't think so. I'm enjoying it so far, but like I feel like the Jeff of it all is just like a big like geriatric rain cloud over my watching experience this season. Like,
I will say,
even seeing like how he like sits down at tribal, I feel like he has to like put his hands down first and like really like ease into
he's at that age where his balls are hanging really low, and that's a lot.
They're at his knees.
He said they're at his knees. That's a lot.
It's why he doesn't run anymore, because then all you'd hear is
he wants to wear khaki pants, but the producers are like, no, you're staying in the damn shorts. Okay, well, I'm not responsible for what falls out of tribal and makes it out. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for him to be sitting there during tribal council and they've like blurred out part of his inner thigh, and I'm gonna be like, balls are hanging out, y'all.
I will say this: Jeff's balls are a better host than Julie Chen. There, I said it.
Preach.
Let's just put that out there.
Absolutely.
Jeff doesn't bother me as much. It's like it's become a flavor that sometimes is overpowering in a dish, but like without it would be like the dish wouldn't be the same. Like that's how I kind of feel about him and such. But I think 43 is better than 41, but not better than 42. And I think a lot of the reason why people are liking this season is because it's easier to follow since this is the 3rd season of a newer format. So the things that we didn't like about 41, I actually guarantee if we went back and rewatched 41, 43 is doing almost exactly the same thing. But since we have a better sense of how the game is played, as an audience, we're enjoying it a little bit more. I do think that what was great for the first 2 episodes was even more backstory. But it was at the sacrifice of getting to see the interpersonal relationships. And I just feel like Survivor's one of those shows that unless they don't make it 90 minutes, like we're just not going to strike that balance ever. And I don't know what it is because, and I also think, I think RHAP came up with something like where they were saying, we got to get rid of 3 tribes. We got to go back to 2 tribes. And when you have 2 tribes, it's so much more interdependent on the relationships than it is at these lower numbers where everyone's a little bit more exposed. Yes, that makes for good gameplay, but if you're not going to show the good gameplay, then what's the point? And I kind of agree with that.
I've said on this show, like for a few weeks now that like, I'm really loving the 3 tribe format, but like now that like 4 women were like the first 4 like voted out of the season, like I'm starting to think like, does a 6-person tribe really disadvantage women because they're thinking more like tribe strong in terms of like physical challenge wins and stuff like that. So like, I don't know, like I'm torn. Like I'm loving like the smaller tribal dynamics, but I just feel like we could have used like a swap or something by now just to like freshen it up a little bit. I think there's like a compromise there.
The merge is next week, apparently.
Yes.
A merge is next week, but we don't know if individual immunity is next week. Are they going to follow the same format as the last 2 seasons where somebody goes home and they're not technically a part of the jury, right?
There's a twist.
There's definitely a twist. And I think, we were kind of spoiled on this a little bit with the preseason stuff. And so I think that we're going to move to this like birdcage idol thing at some point too, which I kind of have been waiting for that the entire time. And I'm really happy that it's at the merge and not like each tribe had that.
Can you describe what the birdcage idol is or what we know about it at least?
Sure. So what apparently we know about it at this point is that there will be a cage that has 2 immunity idol, quote unquote, like envelopes or like packages in it. Anybody at any time could go grab it, but you have to be aware because one of them is a fake idol, one of them is a real idol, and everybody sees it, and everybody can see if you just go over and grab it. So you got to be sneaky, and everybody will know if one is missing, but they won't know if you have the real or the fake one. So I think that's going to make for really interesting gameplay. I hope that if they do that, there's no more idols this season. That's the only one, plus the ones that have already been found with the beware advantages. And then we have like, the steal a vote, that kind of thing. Those I think would be great. I love the idea if we make the advantages and such front loaded in the game and then you focus purely on gameplay towards the merge. I think that's great, which is why I disagreed with your point earlier, Tyler. However, if they continue to drop in, everyone's still going on a journey and we're doing fuck that. We don't need that anymore. Just give us the one thing. And I think we'll be in a good place.
No, I like this advantage because it reminds me of Heroes versus Villains when like everybody at the Villains tribe knew that there was an idol. And I want Carla to do this at the merge. I want her to pull a Sandra and say, whoever goes for that idol is marked and we're voting them out. I want that to be said in front of everybody, so everybody knows and everybody's on the same page, and it kind of gives Carla like a little authority, right, in the pecking order once like everybody is now together. I'm really excited to see how Carla plays the merge, you guys. Like I'm really happy with her positioning. I'm happy that like we finally saw a little bit from Cassidy tonight in terms of like her capability as a player. Like I loved that she put Ryan on the spot like that and like read him like a book and trolled him and it just the difference in. So what I noted tonight was like the difference in control that Cassidy and Carla have over the majority of boys compared to how Ellie and Janine are just like fumbling every single read, and their positioning is terrible. They have no idea. I mean, Janine telling Sammy that tonight, for God's sake, like that is so terrible and such a misread. It's just crazy how like subtle Cassidy and Carla are and how just like terrible. Sorry, Ellie.
That's what I have a question for Julianne about. Do you think so we saw last week the yellow tribe got helped by the red tribe or the orange tribe. I don't know if the orange red tribe in the immunity challenge. Do we think that's going to bode well for half of the tribe of Baka, the yellow tribe, when they go into this? Because I could see them fragmenting. I think that Ellie and Janine stay together. I think Mike and Owen stay together and Sammy plays the middle. I see Ryan potentially wanting to flip off of Coco because he's not going to have a person he trusts there. And I think that the Vessi 4 are going to be in the strongest foursome tribe going into the merge. That's my reads. What are your reads thinking about the merge in the tribal dynamics?
Yeah, I definitely think yellow, or that's Baka, right? I think they're already kind of fragmented in my opinion. I think that's just going to continue to decay as they all come together. We were talking about Ellie and Janine earlier. They are driving me nuts. Like having this conversation about where you find an idol at the well where everybody goes to get water, like it just doesn't make sense.
Not Janine fully being like, come here, and then running to Ellie, who's at the well. Like, I totally agree with that, Julia. What the fuck?
What are they doing? I was like, get out of here. And then like, as soon as they were like, we're not going to tell Owen, in my brain, I was like, oh, he's right there. And he was. I was just like, this is so stupid. And now the whole tribe knows. It's like, it's crazy. And yeah, I don't understand the telling Sammy. Everything is just a mess. I think they're going to get slaughtered. They have the numbers right now, but I think they're going to go over there and they're going to panic and they're just going to lose their numbers one by one.
Well, not only that, but like, so as soon as they see Owen, right? Like they try to lie about it. They try to be like,
I don't know. Like,
don't worry about it.
Paper
like,
in her hand.
Yeah,
right. I would have been like, it's a tampon. Do you want one?
I would love that.
But like, what a way to like show that like we don't trust you, right? Like if you see somebody in that moment, like if you're caught red-handed, what you need to do is be like, oh, Owen, perfect. Come over here. Like really notion him over there. To like, oh my gosh,
don't say perfect timing like this. Oh, perfect timing. And you say perfect timing. Like if right words, wrong tone. Ellie, that was so bad.
Perfect timing. We were just talking about not showing this to you. So here, take a look at it.
Isn't she supposed to be like a psychologist or something too? Like,
I think we're learning. that
Doesn't feel like she knows people
psychologist
that
about
well, I guess.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, like, where do we see like Janine going from here? Like, now that she has a little bit of power, a little bit of agency in this game, because I feel like
But she
she's
doesn't
been
have
like
a vote.
right until
I
the
believe
merge,
she's
right?
probably
So
going
she has it
next.
now, right?
I
No,
think
it's
she's
her
going-
next tribal council. It didn't say
Yeah.
didn't say this
Oh.
tribal council. It says your next tribal council, which in the
Hmm.
past 2 seasons have shown carries into the merge. So she will not have a vote at the first
She's
merge
going next.
vote.
She's going
But
next.
she has an idol.
Yeah, she has an idol, so I'm not worried about it for her.
But I think what's going to happen is like you get this power, you automatically have to use it. Or I think Ellie has enough power over Janine that if Ellie feels like she's in trouble, Janine will play the idol for her. And I think it'll be a red hair and Janine goes home that way.
I don't think Janine will give up that idol. I really don't. I mean, they even said it tonight. The bitch has got a fucked up chin at this point. She's Scarface. She's Al Pacinoing her way through this game with no regrets. She's to say hello to my little friend, and it's going to stay in my pocket. She's not. I really don't think she's going to do that. I think she's.
I think they're going to hold on to it. I feel like she might go home with it in
Yeah.
her pocket because they think they're
Yeah,
so
that's it.
clever. They
See,
think they're
I
so
agree with-
smart and they know everybody on their
That's true,
team.
Julianne.
I
That's
agree
so
with
true.
you, Julianne.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, you go put your hand in a bunch of fire ants and get your own damn advantage. I was having a itch fit
I know.
looking at all those ants. I'm like,
Yeah, it was gross.
how does she get those off?
No.
Are they
Yeah, I think
don't
I might just
hug
leave
me.
it there.
I'm good. You got ants on you.
I trust you. I would have
I
been like,
trust you.
okay, Owen, this is a tampon, and I swear those aren't ants, those are crabs.
Yeah, here, take this crabby tampon.
They'll never look at it
Owen.
then. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that much.
Bye-bye.
I'll tell you that for free. If you go up to someone and go, I was keeping this up in my vag, no one's going to take a look at that. No one's going to rifle through your bag to try to touch that, so don't worry about it.
I don't know. I
Solid
just
plan.
like Sammy said something tonight about Janine that makes me think that maybe this is like a foreshadow for Ellie turning on Janine. So Sammy said in confessional, and I love he was like leaning up against the tree, like it was just shot.
I
in the face or what.
was like, that they were like, you know what? What if you come over here? We're going to shoot this confessional
We want to get a
and
full
pretend that we're
body.
taking senior photos here.
The
And so he
senior
was like leaning
body.
against the tree
Well,
as
here's
if he was a high school
19.
senior.
I can confirm that was
Congratulations.
senior photos pose that was
Congratulations, Sammy, graduating in 2023.
Did he say that he had learned, he just did this at Chuck E. Cheese and he doesn't want people to know he's 18?
Yes. That's what I said. I was like, I couldn't believe it until the Chuck E. Cheese comment. Not really.
But here's
Yeah.
the thing, Chuck E. Cheese has been around for a long time to the point where I don't even think that kids go
Beth,
anymore. And
you-
I sit back and
Beth,
go, well, that's a millennial.
You
I
don't
have
I think
that.
Allison's
go
been-
to, honey, I went to Chuck E. Cheese 6 weeks ago. You don't go
pizza?
to Chuck E. Cheese. It was terrible. I had diarrhea. You don't go to Chuck E. Cheese in Memphis anyway, unless you have to, unless you got a little grandson. Other than that, I'm not going.
Well, to
I'm
be fair,
not
I
going.
believe Sammy said it's not like I go to Chuck E. Cheese every weekend because he
The
was
point is
saying
he
like
said
how
Chuck E.
hard
Cheese.
it was to roll that up. But he said Chuck E. Cheese, and I have to say, I don't think that marks him as a young person because Chuck E. Cheese is not 5 years old. It's like 50 years old. Like that is
Yeah.
pervasive for people generation. So that's why I was like, yeah, I didn't have any, but I saw lots of people talk about it, and I was like, my gosh.
Chuck
Well,
E.
maybe I
Cheese.
missed this, but he was
Yeah.
talking on his like screen. It said pet cremator too. I must have missed that was his like job because I was like, wait, what? like,
Yeah.
It's like
He
a
was
way
just
that he's
cracking
helping to
me up.
pay for college.
This is how much Chuck
yeah.
E. Cheese has changed. Just let me humor this. I burned it.
Go ahead.
Give me a minute. Chuck E. Cheese. When I was a little kid, it was Showbiz Pizza Place, and you had the big bear with the banjo and all that, and it morphed in, Chuck E. Cheese and all that. And now you don't have the stage with the band. It's all on a big screen. And my whole thing about going to Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz when I was little was, oh my God, you could stare at the puppets, the animatronics and stuff, and look around at them and stuff and then the lights would come on and then they'd start moving. And it was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the world. Now it's like you're standing around in a puddle of snot and God knows what else on the floor while you're waiting for the screen to pop up. And then the freaking hungover mouse guy that's forced to wear the mouse suit, who hates his life, comes out. only interacts with the children that are in the birthday parties. That mother effer ignored my grandson twice.
Honestly, that's probably a good thing.
And let me tell you
True.
something. He tripped over himself the second time, and Chris was like, yeah, that's what you get for
karma.
ignoring our grandson.
Karma.
I'm
Asshole.
with Stefan in the chat. I was a Discovery Zone
Me
kid as
too.
well.
I was gonna say
Much
the same
better.
exact thing.
Yes.
Cheesy Discovery Zone, baby.
No creepy
Was so good.
mascots. Yeah.
Rory, you get it. Because you need a rat to relate to children. Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
I think that's where COVID started, but that's just me.
Believable. But the quote that Sammy was saying was as soon as somebody senses you're playing the game harder than anyone else, nobody's gonna mind getting rid of you because it's one step closer to their dream. And they showed like a shot of Janine, and then they showed a shot of Ellie. So that makes me think like, oh my God, is Ellie gonna like turn her back on Janine at the merge and be like, girl, you're so safe. You don't need to play the idol. You're good. And then like behind the scenes, she's like, she doesn't even have a vote. Let's get rid of her tonight.
So I don't think that. I think the only way that she does that is if it's clearly between her and Janine. Because why break the trust of the one person you trust going into the merge, right? I think what's going to happen is Ellie thinks that she's a Carla, but she's not. And I think it's going to be her versus Carla's alliance. And then I think the Vessi 4 are going to go, who do we go with? And I think the 4 of them stick together. I'm going to be very shocked if Cody, Dwight, Jesse, and Noelle do not stick together.
I agree.
And so I think what's going to happen is I think Carla's much better at finessing the game. I think that Carla, Cassidy, and Jay team up with Vessi, and I think Ryan goes with Mike, Owen, and Sammy, and then Ellie and Janine are on the outs. And so if it comes down to those two going against each other, Ellie is selling Janine out 100%. 100%. But if it does go, the unfortunately, the 5 women, if somehow they form an alliance, I think that there's going to be a moment where we're probably going to have the tribal council where we talk about implicit biases with women and all that kind of stuff. I imagine that's going to happen. I think that will sway votes. And I don't think that you're going to see a woman go in the first 2 votes. I think it will be men. For sure.
So then which men? Like, how do we see like that? So say like that happens at tribal, right? Like does like Ryan go?
I think it's obvious that if they
Gabler?
want to go against, I think that Blue's going to want to come after Cody, or at least go for the Vessi tribe in general because of what they did to them last time. And I think they want to get ahead of that. And I think that if Carla and Cassidy and Jay are smart, they pick up somebody from a few people from Yellow. So I could see them time up with Ellie, Janine, and Sammy, or Mike, Owen, and Sammy take out Cody. I think Cody goes really early in the merge because they don't want to deal with his physical prowess. And I also think that, he came and he screwed us over with not only them helping the tribe, but also they came and he played us like a fiddle for like the machete and all that stuff. I think they realize that he is a huge social threat. I think they have an idol. Even if he does, I think that they're smart enough to finesse it where he doesn't play his idol. I don't think that he would go into tribal thinking it's him. Rich. Yes, I do. I am basically that meme of the woman who's like,
I know. I'm sitting there like trying to follow. Like,
it makes sense though. Like what you're saying makes sense.
Listen to this.
That's me. Oh,
this is my grandson's face. Look at this little guy. How do you pass this child walking past?
We're back at Chuck E. Cheese.
We're back at Chuck E. Cheese. We're supporting the other mouse.
It's probably because he's wearing Mickey Mouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
But still, fuck that route. Anyway, go ahead.
Julianne, how do you see the merge shaking out? Do you agree with Beth? Do you see like another path for how it can all?
Did you even understand what I said?
I mean, I probably got like 50%.
Honestly, that's generous.
I will say, I think Red is going to stick together. They seem really tight. I also think Jay, Cassidy, Carla are going to stay together. So I think maybe they could get together. And then I really think Yellow's going down. They're kind of a mess in my opinion. But I guess I could see the girls Ellie and Janine trying to get in with these groups and maybe thinking they are, and then just becoming blindsided at the tribal because they just think they're like survivor gods at this point, but they really don't know what's going on.
I think Carla and Cassidy will want to team up with them, and then they were easy to drop Lindsay at a blink of an eye. I think they'll drop them very quickly. I think they're going to want to work with them, and then they're going to realize, oh, these guys are hot garbage. Let's get rid of them.
Okay,
I was thinking they might want to do a girls' alliance, but it's not.
I don't think Noelle will do a girls' alliance.
What if Sammy is the merge boot? Like, what if you guys are like, what if you're saying it's true that like blue and red tribes, like they team up, and they see that Ellie and Janine are on the bottom, and they're like, wait a minute, like why are we taking out one of them when like Sammy is like just as capable of like a challenge threat like here at the merge, and in a much more like powerful position within the yellow tribe dynamic. Like he doesn't have an idol or anything. Does Gabler want to use his idol on Sammy? I don't think so.
No.
I mean, Sammy's kind of vulnerable here.
I think Sammy's much better finesse wise, and also doesn't have 4 people actively coming after him from another tribe. I think those 4 people are going to go after Cody.
You don't use your idol on anyone else but yourself. I don't give a shit if you're playing with your mom, your dad, your grandpa. Sorry.
Sierra voted out her mom, people.
Yeah.
That's the level you have to play.
And Jeff
Survivor.
never let us forget it.
I would not be mad at Cloud or my son or anybody if they didn't use it on me. Now they'd have to deal with me when they got home. But, seriously, you don't use it.
Let's also remember that Mike literally got an idol and then came back and was like, guys, I'm not even going to use my idol. Vote me out tonight. Vote me out. I'm just going to use my shot in the dark. So I don't think Gabler is smart when it comes to this game. And I could see him play his idol for someone like Sammy in order to prove loyalty. I think he would play it for Sammy, especially because Sammy told him tonight, you just gave Janine an idol when you switched your bead. So I think that Mike would absolutely play his idol for another person if he thinks that means I get to create a stronger relationship that will carry me further into the game rather than saving myself for one more night. I think that's how Mike thinks. I'm not saying it's smart. I think that's how he thinks.
Do you think that do we think that they know that the merge is coming up next week, and that maybe influenced like Jesse in particular to tell the red tribe that he lost his vote in terms of like we need to stick together type of thing? Or do we think that he's just like loyal to the fourth? I don't know. I'm wondering like if they're looking ahead at like the merge has to be coming up very soon. Like, guys, I'm gonna tell you, like, I lost my vote, but we need to stick together and like start like I wouldn't be surprised if like the red tribe is already planning like, all right, once we get to the merge, we're going to connect with the blue tribe. And
I think they have to. They're the smallest right now, right? So they kind of have to. Yeah, so I think their thinking is they kind of have to. I don't think it's a bad strategy. I think it worked a couple weeks ago with Noelle. So she kind of was like, "Hey guys, I'm on the outs," and they gave it to her, right? So I don't think it's a bad strategy if you're a good liar.
And Noelle still has hers, so
yeah. So I mean, I guess I would do that. It was a little interesting that they had to
steal a vote, right?
So.
Yeah, that's right.
So here's the thing: Jesse knows that everybody does trust him, but he's backstabbed Dwight in Dwight's eyes. Noelle feels like she's still on the outs with the 3 of them and is still proving herself. And Cody feels like he's the one calling all the shots. So if you're Jesse, and I think Jesse's a really good people reader, I think that he's coming and going, I can't hide anything more from these 3 in case we go to merge or in case we go to tribal next. I need them to know where I stand because I think he just needed them to trust him because at the end of the day, if Noelle was like, I didn't have anything, you can search me, but she didn't pull out something. Jesse fully pulled out. Here you go. He pulled out.
I think that Jesse and Carla connect on a very strategic level once the merge hits. Like they're kind of like the mafia bosses of like each of their tribes, right? Like the blue tribe, like Ryan thinks that he's in control of the blue tribe, but it's really Carla. And Cody thinks that he's in control of the red tribe, but honestly, I think it's Jesse that's really calling the shots. So if Jesse and Carla are able to like create this master plan that we're like hatching, but like I want those 2 to be specifically in the driver's seats for this, because I think the 2 of them could be really, really good and dangerous together.
I like what Joseph
Can you
Boza
imagine
says in
that?
the chat, which
What's he
is
say?
heading into next week. We
Yeah,
have 3
Johnson.
idols in the play: Mike, Cody, and Janine, who are in danger of who is in danger of leaving if one or more are played. And I think that's really great. So assuming that all 3, let's just throw out this thing. It's
Yeah.
a chaotic tribal. Everybody goes. It's not like the
Oh,
past where
everybody's
half.
gonna be whispering that crazy crap that drives me nuts.
I bet we have an active tribal or
Live
whatever it's
tribal.
called. A live tribal. I bet we have one of those in this situation, right? So we're going to throw in all the things. So let's pretend Cody, Mike, and Janine don't feel safe and they play the idols on themselves.
Yeah.
Who do we think goes home?
Sammy.
I think Ryan.
This is with
Yeah,
them
I think
playing the
Ryan.
idols?
Ryan,
They're
I could see that too.
Mm-hmm.
So we're saying that if Cody, Gabler, and Janine play their idols, like those 3 can't be voted out at the merge.
I don't know, man. I got to see who
also Carla has an idol.
Jason Derulo.
Yeah. She did
Oh, I
the
didn't
Beware
know that.
Advantage last week. So she's
She's gonna hold on to that thing.
She's gonna hold
Yeah, I
on
don't
to
think
that.
she'll use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
I
doesn't
guess
need
it
to.
just depends on who does the crappiest on the challenge, because then, I don't know
Although
why.
Carla was acting a little
paranoid.
Suspicious. Yeah, I was thinking of that. Paranoid today, where she was like, "But maybe he knows I have an idol and he's gonna I don't know. Hopefully she kind of reels that in a little bit and doesn't move forward.
Jason Derulo.
I love it. And then, Rory, you said that you said you'd never used an idol on yourself, and I couldn't remember Jason Derulo's name, so I said, and you used it on ... And you were supposed to say Jason Derulo, because I was coming up with a name like Jason Herpes. I had no idea. Well, herpes. Don't get me started on herpes, because I've watched my next episode of 90 Day The Single Life.
Oh, we heard
And
all
that
about that in
herpes
the
needs
group
its
chat.
own episode. Okay? But anyway, next.
I was late.
Yeah, you're late to the party. Welcome.
I
guess
think who do you think is somebody who's unexpected at this point, who's maybe under-edited, that you think is going to go far?
I'm all in on Cassidy now. Like, now that
Jason
she's
Derulo.
made the merge, like, I don't see Cassidy being targeted, especially with Carla really protecting her. But even without Carla, I think that Cassidy, now that she's in the merge, it's an individual game. There are so many, like, especially with all these guys, right? Like, when Ryan is still left in the game, when Cody's still left in the game, Sammy's still left in the game, Jesse, Dwight, Owen, like, all of them are so much bigger, like, threats to be winning challenges and stuff than Cassidy. And Cassidy impressed me so much tonight when she was like trolling the hell out of Ryan. Like, that is like really like next level, like wit and humor. That is a sign of a really smart, on the fly thinker. I'm all in on Cassidy now. I think she's going to go really far this season.
And
we've seen
could not disagree more with that. I really think she's going to be an earlier mid merge person. Because I mean,
look at Erica's like up to this point.
No, what I guess I'm saying is that Carla and Jay were ready to vote her out tonight. And I think if she shows any paranoia, they will flip right on her. I don't think that she has as much agency. And I think Ryan's not going to want to work with her at this point. I think who does that leave her with? I think she would go to Ellie and Janine and board that sinking ship. Julianne, what do you think?
I think Owen could be good. He seems like genuinely kind of under the radar, but he still is kind of hip and knows what's going on. And I feel like he's good at playing different sides. So I can see him kind of maybe defecting to either blue or red once the merge happens. I don't think he wants to stay with this disaster tribe.
I feel that. Allison, what are your thoughts?
What do you think?
Who I think's going next?
No, who's somebody who's under-edited at this point that you think is going to go a little farther, or somebody who's like not having like the flashy in-your-face kind of decisions in game?
Jay.
I'm 100% with you.
I feel like they're saving him for something, because I kind of noticed that tonight. Because when he popped up the 2 times they showed him, I was like, oh yeah, Jay's there. Okay.
I forget about Jay. Yeah.
I forget about Jay too.
Exactly. We forget about Jay, and every time he's on the screen, he's influencing Carla. But Carla's
Sammy
getting
and Jay,
all the
final 2. with his Jay's under editing and Sammy's senior photos full body interview. Who else is getting a full body interview? No one.
Not me.
No one. Just Sammy. Hello.
But
I would like to give my confessional now. So here's what I think about the advantages in this game. Is this my good angle? Should I switch to this tree?
I feel like they give Noelle one too because they want to show her leg a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
She's always like laying on the beach with her, or like near a tree with her leg out. And I'm like, okay, we know that she doesn't have two legs.
Girl,
like,
they also always cut to her at a part where I think it's really impressive. So like tonight where she's doing that thing where you have to like hop and she's doing it on one leg over the thing. I mean, that was impressive. And I loved watching that. But they sometimes do it too much to the point where I'm like, yeah, we know that she is working a little differently and harder in this way. It's almost tokenizing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. They're doing it too much, and it's so impressive. Like I couldn't do half of this with two legs, but
I could do none of it.
They show it so much, and then they show them like carrying her, and it's like, okay, can we just treat her like a regular contestant? Please? Yeah. Like I think that's what she's asking for.
She's so tough, though. I love her.
I remember in the preseason, like for the draft, when we were talking about Jay specifically, like, let us not forget, he is like a world chess champion. Like, he is a very intelligent man. But like, what like piqued my interest and why I picked him in our draft is he said that like chess is all about timing. Like, it's not about the move. It's not about taking out the queen. It's about knowing when is the right time to strike to catch them off guard. So like, I love that like Jay has kind of been like under edited so far because like maybe we're waiting for this like baller, like merge, like strategist to come out of the woodwork.
Yeah. I think Jay could take Carla out.
I was just going to say, I think he could like sweep up and grab her.
Ooh, I'm getting chills thinking about that.
I think
Carla is so impressive. Sorry,
I mean, she's far and away the most impressive person that we're being edited to see, right? And I think,
but he has been in those conversations too, so he is
absolutely.
Right there.
Tonight, he was the one that went, I don't know, I don't think we should do this, and then Carla was like, "You're right," and then like he's the one that Carla bounces the ideas off of and gets the validation from. He could very easily put her on tilt.
How do you feel about Dwight at this point? Like, that's somebody that we haven't really talked too much about, like his positioning. Like, do we see him being like an under the radar type of player that could actually do well here in the merge?
I think he's going to be under the radar. I just don't know if he has as much social and strategic gameplay as the rest of the people that we've talked about. I could see Cassidy having much more social gameplay than Dwight, but part of that I think is because we got to see her do that tonight, and we haven't really had. Anytime we've seen Dwight talk about gameplay, he's always not been on the inside of it. So, I don't know.
I don't know. All right, let's pull up the drafts here. So I have sadly lost yet another person.
God, this is the highlight of my night. I've been waiting. Listen, I haven't even brought it up one time, but I've been waiting. Look at that. Who hasn't lost? I'm going to just go ahead and say it. I think I have the winner. I think I have
Julian, what do you think? Who has the best draft team here, and why is it not me?
Yeah,
I'm heading to the merge.
You have Ryan too, which is rough. I mean, I think Allison looks good now, but I think Beth might take it.
I'm heading to the merge. Beth and I are definitely going to the merge with all our people.
That's true.
Well, if
you got Ryan and Jay, Tyler, I think Jay's a good bet, but I
think Tyler was talking too much of a big game, and now it's bitten him.
I used all my luck for Big Brother 24.
Thank you, Rich. Not Tyler.
Yes.
And then here's our draft for the patrons that participated. So
and shout out to Liza, who just the last time we did a patron draft just absolutely got decimated. It was like doom, 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 like right in a row. And Liza was like, I don't think I can do any worse, so I hope this is better. Liza, look at how good you're doing.
Hashtag justice for Liza.
Liza has such a strong looking at Liza, she's got Carla, Jesse, Jay, Noelle, and then Ryan. And I think
Ryan.
that
Ryan.
that's
Jeez,
such
Ryan.
that's such a good team.
Yeah.
And I think Stefan has a good team. It's an interesting team. I think Ellie and Janine are interesting. The Cassidy and Dwight of it all could come out of nowhere. I think Cody's wild card. So I really think for me, Liza's far and away the best. Sorry, Henning, you have, I think, the middle.
It's the quickest
Of
I've
the-
ever
of the mission.
seen Tyler take down a draft.
I'm sorry, Tyler, I missed our draft. Can you put it back up for a second?
You know what the funny thing is? When I logged in, our Big Brother draft was sitting up on the screen as an overlay. And I was like, why is this? Is this going to be up every effing time now when I log on? Jesus.
Yeah.
Rory did my and Ryan as a hashtag, which is hashtag ... and Ryan.
And Ryan. Yeah, that's it. That's the show. That's our hashtag for the night. ... And Ryan.
All right. So
If
I
you
want
had
us
to-
to.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Go. I was gonna say who I want us to first predict, lock in our guess who we think is the merge boot, and I also want us to say who we think is the final three at this.
Oh, okay. I like that. Allison, why don't you go first?
Why do I have to go first?
Because your name begins with A.
Oh,
So, who I think is going next?
Yeah, and then who?
I'm going to be bold, and I'm going to say Carla.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Ooh.
Whoa! I'm stirring it up.
Gee
I'm in the pot.
whiz.
I'm stirring it. The sugar's on the
Chaos.
bottom. I got to make it rise to the top.
that was a very interesting move that I just witnessed.
So you think Carla's going next? Who do you think are the final three?
Cody, Dwight, and Jesse.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I'm going to go bold. I'm going to go put both my balls in. Full throttle.
Julianne, please take us past this moment, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say woo every time. That scares me. Okay. I'm gonna say for first out at the merge, I'm gonna say ... and Ryan. Maybe that's just because I want him to go. But yeah, he'll be my merge boot, and then final.
No.
wait, she's
Carla,
coming back.
Jay,
She's
and
coming back.
Jesse.
Carla, Jay, and Jesse?
Okay, wait. Yes, Carla, Jay, and Jesse.
Yeah. I think that's a good one.
Mm.
I like how Rory tried to write Jeff Probst. Wow! But instead he wrote Jeff Probat.
That's his new name. Is he friends with Jason DeLuca or whatever?
Jason DeLuca.
I don't know. I can't remember. That's right.
I'm fucking dying. Tyler,
What?
who do you think's going next? Who are your top three?
All right. I think Ellie's the merch boot.
I can see that.
And I think I will say she has deserved every bit of being that merge boot. She has played a terrible, terrible game. And all of us, not just me, all of us had such high expectations of her as a player in this game.
She was my number one draft pick.
She was everybody's number one draft pick. What the hell
Not
happened
mine.
to this gal? So I think Ellie's the merge boot, and I think the final three will be. I think it'll be Sammy, Jesse, and Jay. And I think we will say that Jay should have won, but I think Sammy will win. Jesse will play a great game as well, but I don't think Jesse has enough charisma to deliver a Marianne type final three speech. You know what I mean? I think Sammy's gonna have that youthful energy. And he's played a great game this far. I have to say he's easily the best out of the teenage Survivor players that have played this game.
I do want to see the reveal of that. I want to see what people think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. 22 and 19 are the same age to me.
Yeah, if you're 18, 20.
If they're like,
it's
sorry
fine.
guys, I'm not actually 22, I'm 19, I'm gonna be like, there's a difference.
Is he 19 or 18?
He's
19.
19. Yeah.
I think he was 18. He's 19?
Because he has that job as a pet cremator.
See, 19 is more reasonable than me than 18, because if I'm like cougaring on you and you're 18, it's like I feel gross thinking, oh my God, a year ago you were like 17. That's gross.
I feel like it's the same.
I can't find anybody under the age of 25 at all attractive.
No, I find guys attractive who are young, but like there's not. Look, I have got no gas in this tank to teach anybody anything.
So my thought is that, could you bring it back up again? I want to look at that.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I think Cody's the merge boot. I'm convinced that he's going to be the merge boot. I know he is an idol. I honestly think I just feel in my bones. I think Cody's going to be the merge.
He would be cocky enough not to play it though.
I think that's exactly what's happened. I think that they lull him into a false sense of reality. And I think that he gets got. And I think Carla has his number because she knew he came in there and did a sales pitchy kind of thing. And she knows that. And I think she's smart enough to pull something off to make him feel comfortable enough to not play the idol.
And he thinks he got away with it last week, too.
He does. He doesn't think that they caught on at all.
Yeah.
So I think Cody is going home as the merge boot. As you all know, the math has been mathing all up in my head tonight. I could see Janine... if Ellie goes and cuts Janine and that humbles her, I think she goes to the final 3. I don't think she wins, but I think I see her there. I feel like she could team up with some people and get there.
Hold on a second. Shit.
What was that?
That was like a baseball chant, right?
Basketball.
Yeah.
Da-da.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Da-da.
I don't know sports.
Da-da.
Hey!
Yeah, my husband was calling. He has the crazy Joker, Joaquin Phoenix
Okay.
Joker ring. I was going to say something and I forgot.
So I'm going to go out on a limb because I think I'm trying to educate. I'm trying to think about what production would have taken from what people were complaining about for the past couple of seasons. I think you're going to find Jay, Carla, and Ellie in the final 3. And I really think Ellie, the more I've thought about it with what Tyler said, I really think Ellie will cut Janine. And I think Carla will take her in. And she's going to run Ellie's game. And I don't think Ellie's going to get any votes. I think Carla wins. I think Jay gets a few votes. I think Ellie's the no vote third person.
I can see that.
See, I see the numbers. Everyone's like, oh, I see numbers around Beth, but it's not a beautiful mind, Russell Crowe. I see Zach Galifianakis from The Hangover at the
Playing
poker
blackjack.
table. Yeah, that's the numbers I see. Everybody's like, beautiful mind. Yeah, and I'm like, a beautiful what?
Let me just tell you,
She's a
ain't nothing
one-woman
beautiful
wolfpack.
about this mind right now. It is a hot mess.
I honestly though, I like what you're saying about Ellie being a losing finalist because like we have shown every single episode, even when it's like not necessary to the plot of who's getting voted out, just how damn wrong of a read Ellie has on everything and how like overly confident she is in that wrong read. And that's how you lose Survivor, folks.
She might think she's on that like top of the alliance with Carla too.
Yeah.
Right. And I can see Carla bringing her just to.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think that Ellie's going to make a fool out of herself in the final 3 because Carla knows that she's got this idea of herself that's just not what the jury sees. So Stefan in the chat has, Jesse was definitely one of my considerations. I think Carla gets out Jesse or Jesse gets out Carla, and that's the thing that gets them the win. I think they're the two trophies like that you want to hunt and put on your wall. And if you can mount either one of those, then you win the game. I honestly, I think that's where it's going to turn into. And I honestly think that if they get rid of Cody, that really weakens Jesse. really weakens him. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, Cody's like a really necessary meat shield for Jesse, I think, for
Very
a
necessary.
long time in this game.
Yeah,
like I'm talking like Jesse should keep Cody until like final 6 or something, I think.
Jesse should keep Cody, period. Like I don't think he should ever cut him. I don't think Jesse would lose to Cody at the very end, even if he won all these challenges, because the past few winners, and by few I mean quite a few, it hasn't been about winning immunity challenges. I don't think it's been about winning immunity challenges since Mike won in Worlds Apart, when he just won because he had to.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't think people care that much about that anymore. I think it just makes it harder to vote certain people out, right? So I think Jesse needs Cody in that game. Whereas I think Carla would be fine and adapt if Jay weren't in the game. I don't know how I think Jesse's capable of adapting. I just think his options are not as great. Oh my gosh, Kyle and Pierre.
Thank you so much for the donation, Kylan. He says, and this is Kylan's first season. Like, so he is in for the ride for like the very first time, and I love hearing his thoughts about as like a new Survivor fan. He says, I think Jesse is winning, but still high on Owen.
I think Owen's gonna go far, but I don't think he's gonna have as much command and control of the game. For if he had a little bit more agency, then I think he would, because he's got some good reads and he's gotten people to do some good things, but it hasn't come from a place of power. So if he can get into
find that during the merge, though, like maybe
true.
If he's away from yellow, he'll find his voice a little bit more.
I feel like Owen's edit is like the first person voted out of a double tribal in an hour episode. You know how they do like 2 tribals in 1 hour, like once every season. That's the edit I've been getting from him. And I'm also like very disappointed in Owen as well. I expected more out of him as a player in this game, but I just feel like it's kind of been a fumble so far.
He hasn't fumbled as bad as Ellie, but I agree.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I do think that, again, I think the merge is going to be the place where we really see the capabilities of like all of these players. But we'll see.
Yeah. Julianne, any other thoughts before we head on out of here?
No, I'm really looking forward to the twist. See what that is. The birdcage.
Wait, can we predict who we think who will go for that birdcage?
Oh yeah,
Ryan,
Carla,
Ryan.
Ryan for sure.
Remember, two people could go for it. I think Cody's a good choice too. Honestly,
Cody,
Ryan.
I could see Gabler or Savvy too.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if Gabler got it, how much chaos that would cause? Because
he's going to have his idol that he would be dumb to not play at the next. Like, nobody's choosing him as a merge boot because he can only play his idol at the next.
Honestly, if I have an idol, go for it, right?
Right.
Gabler's the turd that won't flush.
Honestly, if I were Gabler, I would just look for anybody.
Turd.
And what?
No, but here's the thing.
What?
Like, say going into this merge, like you have an idol already, and there's a 1 in 2 chance that you will publicly get another idol. I say go for it, and it doesn't matter who sees. Let everybody know it, because you don't have to tell them if you got that second idol or if you got the fake one, because you still have an idol already, and you just play it at tribal. You're safe. So now people think like, oh, okay, that idol is gone. So you're kind of like treating like information to make sure that like you secretly have an idol at the end of all of this, right?
And where is the birdcage though? Where is it happening? Is it the challenge or is it at tribal council?
No, it's at the camp. Like it's gonna be there for as long as there are 2 idols there. It'll
Very
just
interesting.
be at the camp all the time. So who knows when the people will go for it? But I think it would be smart for Mike just to go up and go, whatever. Now, the part that's not going to help him is that everybody knows on his tribe that his idol currently is only good for 1 more tribal. So the first one. So he can't just pretend like, oh, this was the idol. Like, he can't do that because Janine and Ellie are going to go spread everybody. Oh, no, he's only good for this one as they try to make connections with other people.
Carla should do
I can see Ryan going up to the bird cage and grabbing the wrong idol and going, now what? Like... and what or whatever you know, Beth.
And what?
Yeah,
and what?
Beth, I need you to get on Survivor just so you can go to tribal council one time for no reason. Just get up and go, and what?
And what?
Jeff.
And what, Jeff?
Jeff. Probat.
Jeffrey.
Waiting for the
Jeff
face.
Probat.
Probat.
Probate.
Don't stand up too quickly. Your head might spin, old man. Like,
Your
what's
balls
going on?
might fall out. Don't trip over a nut.
Could you imagine? Jeff is like, Beth, what's it like on day 4 and like without any fire? So I'm gonna be like, Jeff, I'm sorry, I want to answer your question, but your nuts are hanging out, and I'm so distracted right now.
It's kind of like your nuts.
Wow.
Out in the open and cold and alone and clueless.
Sweaty.
So I feel
Jeff, if I may
sweaty.
if I may throw a Jeffism back at you, I would like you to dig, and put your balls back into your underwear right now. Thank you very much.
It's a little drafty in here, wouldn't you say? Cool, that special draft.
I start off by going, "Hey Jeff, like,
would Adam in season 40
your
ask
balls
if that's
are
idol?
hanging out, Jeff. I can't concentrate."
Do you think Adam in season 40 would have asked Jeff if that was an idol?
I will. I'll do that.
Is this a real idol?
All right, it's time
Is that
to
an
vote.
idol?
Hold on, Jeff. Hold on. I have something I have to do. Is this an idol?
I don't know, Jeff. Throw it in the fire. I want to see what happens.
Jeff, is it me or is this idol growing? What's happening?
Wow.
Wow.
Stroke, woman, stroke.
Oh God.
Stroke, woman, stroke.
Oh,
God.
All right.
I have a stroke.
Jesus H. Well, Julianne, thank you so much for
frustrated by me.
Idols in my pants. Yeah.
Well, Julianne, thank you so
my
much
God.
for joining this shit show here.
I gotta not stop laughing. Every time I see Jeff now, I'm gonna think about his balls.
Yes. That's
Have
what
you
we
ever
want.
That's
sat
the
across
impact we
an
have.
older gentleman with their genitalia hanging out? I have. Show hands.
Oh, I have.
Yes.
Yeah.
My
There's
driver's
nothing you
ed
can do.
teacher. No, not my driver's
There's nothing you
teacher.
can do.
Oh God.
But
It was
stare, like,
summertime, and this guy went like this, put his leg up on a desk, and was like, "Let me tell you about safety." And I'm like, "Let me tell you about safety. Your balls are hanging out; they are not safely secured in
Ugh.
your underwear."
I've seen an old man's balls, and I've been to the one time I went to hot yoga in 2011.
Oh, boy.
I was behind a
Sweaty
guy in super short shorts and no underwears, lifting his
God.
leg up, doing doggy and all kinds of crap in front of me, and his nuts hanging out the left side. And I'm like, I can't. I'm crying over here, not because I'm hot and rethinking my life choices that got me to this moment. Who is buttering toast right now?
That's what it's.
Someone's buttering toast.
All right. Well,
Whose nuts are
we'll go
big?
ahead-
Who's got secret nuts rubbing up against the mic? Tyler,
Jeff,
put your nuts up. Tyler,
All
are you doing
right.
with your nuts?
Well,
let me see both your hands.
Everybody,
Jeffrey Probat.
Let me see both. Are you playing with your Jeff Probat?
let me end the show in peace.
Really?
All right,
we
bye,
really
guys.
do need my weekly meltdown on our contacts page. Yep.
I
All right,
know
bye.
we do. All right, bye guys. Take care.